Hello, and welcome to this workshop on increasing response rates and representative samples using features in Qualtrics. This is from the Center for Teaching, Research, and Learning at American University, and it is part one in a part three series of videos. In this workshop, we will be going over creating quotas for respondents in Qualtrics, sending reminder emails to people that haven't completed the survey, keeping surveys concise with display and skip logic, and finally, making surveys more personalized using piped text. This is video 1 out of 3 in the series. In this video, we will be covering Qualtrics quotas. We'll be going over how to create a quota for respondents, specifying quota parameters, and options for specifying what happens when a quota is met. All right, we're going to open up Qualtrics now. Okay, here's Qualtrics. Now, this workshop does assume that you have had some experience with Qualtrics, but if you need any additional assistance in opening up Qualtrics, logging in with your AU account, and just getting started, then please see the beginner tutorial workshop videos for Qualtrics. All right, so this video will be going over survey quotas and using them to help you get more representative samples in your responses. So first off, quotas allow you to track how many respondents meet a condition in your survey. You can also use them to specify what will happen to your respondents once a quota has been met for the conditions that you specified. And some of these results can be ending the survey prematurely or deleting any extra responses if the quota has already been met. So this allows researchers to make sure that they maintain a balanced or representative sample size and only collect the exact amount of data required for their study. So let's go ahead and I can show you how to make a quota in Qualtrics. So this is our example survey that we're going to be using for the workshop. And on the sidebar here, you can see there's a few different menu options on the left-hand side. One of those options, the bottom one, is called Survey Options. If we click that, then another panel pops up, and under Advanced Survey Options, you'll see Quotas. If we click that, you can start selecting the conditions that you want your respondents to meet for a quota. And you can actually add multiple conditions if you want. So we'll do an example of this. So the first part about the first step to adding a quota is just to hit add a quota. And you can do that here in the middle, or you can do it down at the bottom where it says add quota with the little plus sign next to it. There's also an option for create multiple quotas that allows you to set multiple quotas at once. This may not be enabled on your account. So if you're not seeing it and you would like this feature, then you will have to email the administrator, and CTRL can help with that just to make sure this feature is turned on. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit add a quota. So the first thing you're going to do when you create a quota is name it. Off on the left, you'll see the new quota is just automatically named new quota, but you can change it to anything you want. So for this example, I'm going to make a quota about gender, just to give an example of using demographics to balance out your sample. So gender will be the name of my quota, and then you'll notice that there is a count to the left of it. This is the quota limit. So the quota limit is the maximum number of respondents you want to take your survey who meet the quota conditions you set. So next to every quota, you'll see these numbers, and it'll even keep track of how many current responses you have for each number so that you know if the quota is almost filled or not. You also have the option of simple logic quotas versus cross logic quotas. If you don't see the cross logic quota option, then you may not have that enabled on your account, but everyone should have the simple logic quota option. If you are interested in cross logic quotas, you'll just have to contact the administrator to turn that feature on. All right, so for this tutorial, we'll just be going over simple logic quotas since they're enabled on everyone's account, and the cross logic quotas are just a little bit more complicated because they use percentages to define how respondents are distributed in the quota. So this will change once you get more respondents answering your survey. The percentage, the number will change itself because it's based on a percentage of respondents. All right, so for my quota limit, I'm gonna change it to 80, just to show you how easy it is to change. You just type it in, and then I'm going to select simple logic quota. And for this, you are just selecting the criteria of your quota using either survey questions or embedded data or any other quotas from the first drop-down menu. So I'm going to use the question in my survey that asks respondents which gender they identify as. So here we go, which is Q2, which best describes you. And then I'm going to select female is selected. And then the quota options are down here. So this is the option you have for specifying what happens when the quota is met. So once 80 respondents have answered female to the Q2 question, I can either end the current survey, prevent any new survey sessions from happening. I will not display the question or not display the block. You can also trigger a web service like email or anything like that. Or you can also do none if you don't want anything to happen, if you just want to keep track. That's also an option. I'm going to end survey so that it doesn't keep recording data if that quota has already been met. And I'm going to select save, or if you want to add another option, you can select the plus sign button and you can select, so if female is selected, you can add another condition using the plus sign option and do and then let's see, Q3, ask them about the political affiliation they identify as. So if I say I only want 80 respondents from people that identified as female and then also identified as very liberal, then if they select, the quota will only let 80 people that chose these two options to answer the survey without ending it. And then also keep in mind, you can do and or if you want to be, and not in addition to, but instead of. So for example, if we want to go back to Q2, which is asking them their gender, and then select male, and then hit or, so there'll be 80 people. It'll let 80 people that answer the survey that select male or female as their preferred gender identity. So that is also an option. You can play around with the different conditions. And then if there's a condition you want to remove, you would just hit the red minus sign to the right of it here. So if I hit that, then the second row with the the second condition is deleted. So I'm gonna finish this by just saving it. So again, it's just 80 respondents that select female as their gender identity. Anything after that, it will end the current survey. I'm gonna hit save. All right, and then that should save the survey. And if we go down to quotas, you'll see that the gender quota is listed here. If you want to delete it for any reason, there is a little drop down arrow to the right of the gender quota, and you can delete it here. You can copy it, rename it. If you have multiple of them and you want to order them, you can move it up or down. Um, you can also schedule it if you want it to be scheduled for a certain time period. So that is, you can also edit it by clicking on it and customizing the options there. I'm just going to close it now. So that is how you create a quota, and you can use it to just maintain balanced representative samples for your surveys. Uh, this can be demographics, it can be based off embedded data. If there's a certain number of different embedded data experiments that you're doing and you want to keep the numbers even, quotas is a great option for that. Okay, thank you. I hope this video was helpful, and please see part 2 for how to send reminder emails to people that have not completed the survey if you have used an email distribution to distribute your survey. That is in the next video, and I hope you have enjoyed this first part 1.